Hello and welcome back to KXAM Plus. Thanks so much for joining us here in the KXAM Plus studio. I'm your host, Esmeralda Zamora, and we have our space-based segment with our KXAN space expert, Eric Henriksen, who is laughing over there.
I am laughing. You make me laugh. I don't know. I don't know. What can you expect? I'm laughing. I'm in a good mood. It's a Tuesday. I think it's nice out. The weather's like getting
so
cool
gloomy.
finally.
It's like fall.
I like how I'm like, it's nice out. Everyone's like, it's gloomy. I'm like, that's what I want. I want the gloomy weather. I want
Me
dark
too.
clouds. I want them rolling in. I want temperatures to not be 90 degrees. Please.
I want to pretend like I'm living in Bella Swan world in Twilight.
Bella Swan
and see
world.
some vampires run out.
I love Texas, but I would love to live in the Pacific Northwest. Although I know I would get, I'm definitely a person who when it's gloomy for more than 10 days, I get down to the dumps. So I couldn't do it, but I love the idea of it. The idea is great to me. I like clouds, I like rain, I like trees.
I like the idea of actually feeling in the season that we are. Because
Right.
here in Texas, that never happens.
Right. It's always, I've lived in Texas now 25 years, and it's been hot every day.
Yeah.
Even during the winter storm, we were thinking, it's kind of warm out.
Kind of warm now.
Everything's
The sun
frozen,
is
but it's
melting
warm.
all the ice.
What's going on? I'm going to be a little colder. I don't know about you. I had no heat for days or water, so I'm joking, but in a dark way.
It was horrible.
Speaking of darkness, space.
Something different, too, that we're seeing here in Texas is the Northern Lights, right?
Well, I'm going to be disappointing. I feel like I should say we're not going to see the Northern Lights here, but if you're traveling north of here, you do have a chance.
In the hill country area or just
Further north.
further north?
Further north.
Wow.
We are getting the Northern Lights here in the U.S. tonight and possibly tomorrow. This is some video we have of some of the Northern Lights. If you don't know what that is, it's really cool. So what happens is the sun is alive. Not sentient, but it shoots off it's moving. It's got energy, and occasionally it releases some of that energy in the form of solar winds, solar flares, and coronal mass ejections, which are really cool. It's when a chunk of the sun gets splat up into space. And when those storms hit us here on Earth, they hit our magnetosphere and so in the upper atmosphere of Earth, and it causes all these pretty colors. So we get the Northern Lights. And so there's a chance, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA's Space Weather Prediction Service. I messed that whole thing up. Space Weather Prediction Service through NOAA says that we are going to get a slight chance of high chance of a slight chance.
Going to be able to see.
Yeah, we'll see the Northern Lights tonight. I don't know what's going on. Can I walk out? Let's start this over again. No.
We have a live question right now from Rob Meyer on our Facebook, and he's asking how much further north are they going to be able to see it?
It's going to be, I have 14 states. 14 I counted? So Alaska, Washington, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, New York, Maine. So
I think he might be asking about Texas. How much further north in Texas?
It won't be in Texas at all, 3 or 4 states above us.
Oh, great.
I know, I built you up. It's across the U.S., nothing in Texas tonight. Although on the storm prediction space weather line they have, it was a little lower. So there might be a chance that if you're in some of the states between here and Illinois, there might be a slight chance of spying them. But unfortunately, tonight or tomorrow, not a chance. However, tomorrow, there was a more severe chance. If you rate it a 1 to 5, which is how they do this, tonight's a 1, and then tomorrow's there's a chance for a 2, which means if that happens, we could get a little bit of a ripple. I don't think it'll reach Texas, but we might get more in the middle. The plains states might get a little something.
Will the sky at least look a little different? Maybe not so beautiful like this, but
no, it won't. It's not for us tonight. I do have something you'll be able to see tonight, but not this tonight, unfortunately. It is cool we're getting it this time of year across the country. Unfortunately, not in Texas. So sorry to disappoint our Texas residents.
You clickbaited us.
I made a point of saying across the U.S. tonight. I did not say Texas very intentionally because it is across the U.S., not in Texas. However, it is a sign that it's interesting because right now the solar activity is actually decreasing. So the way the sun works is it has an 11-year cycle of activity. Mm-hmm. And last year was the peak, and we did during that peak get Northern Lights here in Texas.
Yeah, I remember that.
I had some photos on our web story that I put in there of people who saw them in Marble Falls and Kingsland. Across the state, people saw Northern Lights. But that was last year during the peak, and now we're on kind of the other edge of that peak. It takes 11 years for it to cycle back. So
This
we're
is
on
one
the,
of those
is
photos.
that it?
Oh, this is
No.
from Maine.
Not that one. Go down, go down. That one was, and then the one below it is
Marble
also.
Falls.
Yes, that's Marble Falls. I think the other one was Kingsland I put in there.
Ooh, that's cute.
Or no, it's it's Liberty Hill.
Paramedics in
Liberty Hill. Yeah, there was a Kingsland one I did look at, but it was this is
Didn't make the cut, clearly.
didn't make the cut. It was vertical and didn't fit in my story. So I did try to put it in, but it just didn't fit. But yeah, we're on this like downturn of solar activity, so we're getting less solar winds, less solar flares, less CMEs over time, and what that means for us here is less chance for the northern lights in Texas, but also less chance everywhere.
Wow.
So you'll have a less of a chance of seeing northern lights and southern lights. The aurora I can never say this. Australis. Aurora australis is the southern lights. Aurora borealis is northern ones. I can say that.
Why do they call them that? Aurora.
Something to do with like where they're at. I do know this somewhere in the back of my mind. I don't remember right now. I do. Someone's told me this information before, but I don't. Australis makes sense. Australia.
Yeah, that does make
Borealis, there was a reason.
And what makes this
Boreal is like a word for winter ice. Boreal. It's yeah.
If you know it, tell us in the comments.
Yeah, please tell us in the comments. It's in the back of my head somewhere. I'll find it.
What makes this beautiful, like greenish light if the sun is supposed to be yellow?
So it's not because what it is. It's the energy from the sun. So high blasts of radiation hitting our particles in our upper atmosphere, and basically it ionizes them. It causes them to change the charge in the compounds in the upper atmosphere. And when it changes that charge, it releases like an electrical burst and creates these colors. And I was reading one thing that was kind of like you can see depending on where the chemistry is happening in the atmosphere, it determines the color. So if it's like higher up, it was supposed to be red, and like lower is supposed to be green. And my brain was understanding it, to be honest. But I did it depends. You get the different colors based on where the reaction is occurring in the atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about, I know that there's just a few states that can see this, and Texas is not one of them.
Texas is not one of them. I hate to disappoint everyone here.
But maybe some of our fellow Texans are traveling to these areas this week.
That was kind of my thinking, because it is 2 nights. So if you know anyone who's traveling these areas, you might get a chance to see them.
And what's the best time for them to see them?
So this is between midnight and 2 a.m. And you can look up north, because they're northern lights. And sky darkest, find a rural area away from cities. If you're going camping this week, that'd be a great chance to go see them.
No light pollution in your way.
As minimal as possible, right? I mean, you can have like a little bit, but the further away, the easier to see, right? Yeah. So, we have the planetarium here in downtown Austin that was here, way before downtown Austin looked like downtown Austin.
Yeah.
But even on that thing, you can still see a lot of space.
Wow.
Even with the light pollution. It is harder to see, but you can still...
That's cool, Eric. Maybe we should do a space-based episode there.
You want to go over... We'll do it in the winter. It is very hot in there. It's very hot. It's an oven. It's just a big metal tub on top of a building. Yeah, it's not... It's not cool. We'll go in the winter.
We'll go when we might get some snow.
Yeah, or even just like when it's not even above 50 degrees.
I bet up there it's
so
even
hot.
hotter. Yeah.
It's so hot in that room, but you get some good views. And they do offer viewings throughout the year at UT's astronomy department. So you can check out that if you're ever interested.
That's cool. I didn't even know we had that.
But I do recommend going in a cooler month. Like, it is very hot in that room. And they have giant fans, but it's still hot. But yeah, you can see this. Go to a darker area, and you get a good chance if you're in one of those northern states. Again, I'll list them again. Alaska, Washington, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin. I did like a little Minnesota thing. Wisconsin, Michigan, New York, and Maine. That's where you can check them out. But again, we have seen them here in Central Texas before, so it's not like uncommon. And there is a chance that on tomorrow night it could come like a little further south. I don't think it's going to reach Texas, but maybe more in the plain states might get a little something. But I know a lot of people want to know when these are happening. We've actually gotten like emails before. It's like, hey, you didn't see that this was happening.
Why didn't you tell us this was happening?
And so we just want to alert people, hey, there's a chance that you can see them tonight if you're like traveling up north. Maybe if you're in a plane and you're like doing a flight.
If you're on like an
airplane.
Flat land, like.
No, like.
Oh, an airplane. I thought you meant like in the planes.
In the plane, no, on a plane. You can't. I do my arms up. On a plane, you can see them. During the eclipse, I remember a lot of people took flights up. In fact, our own Dylan McKim,
Took flights up
he
there?
got to do a flight and see it from the sky.
That is
It's pretty cool.
Have you seen the Northern Lights?
I haven't, and I'm really jealous.
Really?
My uncle is like a world traveler, and he goes to like Norway and Sweden a lot, up in the Nordic countries. And he says that people always pay like thousands of dollars to go on like Northern Light trips.
And then they don't happen.
And they
My
don't happen,
sister-in-law went to Iceland to see the Northern Lights, and she said it's hard to see unless you have your phone and you're taking pictures of it.
Yeah, that's one of the recommendations that some people have. If you do see them, you bring your phone, and your phone can actually pick up the low light better
Than your eyes.
than your eyeballs can. I want to talk about prediction, because one thing that's really changed over the last decade plus is that we've now gotten much better at predicting these.
Yeah.
So NOAA had their like thing that came out today, which if you ever want to have fun, go read those charts. They are the most boring thing, but they don't make.
Is that what you do on your phone?
I had a thing that pushed to me. It said go check out the things, and I read the thing. It's like a spreadsheet from the 70s. It's not exciting to read, but it does say when you're hitting storms and what level the storms are at and where they're happening and the magnitude and the luminosity and all these things. It's just a lot of data, but we used to not even have that. And now we're much better at predicting storms. And if you do recall, earlier this year we launched a new satellite or 3 satellites that were monitoring space weather. One was looking at the terminus of our solar system where the winds reach. One was looking at how they interact with us, like the Northern Lights, and then another one was looking at the sun, trying to study that. So we have a lot of satellites up there that are monitoring space weather. In fact, we looked at, what was this woman's name? We had her name down. What was
Michelle.
it? Michelle Nichols runs a planetarium up north, and she chatted a little bit about this prediction center and how prediction technology and how it works, and the device you can use personally if you're curious about the Northern Lights. So here, take a look at that.
We are better at predicting the weather than we are at predicting if you're actually going to see an aurora. But it all depends on what the sun's activity level has been in the last couple of days. So at most, we might have 1, 2, maybe 3 days worth of notice. The tool is from NOAA, and it's an aurora prediction tool. The main feature that you'll see is a map. And that map will include a colored ring or a portion of what looks like a colored donut. That donut region will appear as different shades of green. That will show you a lower probability of seeing an aurora, or maybe into the oranges and reds. That might show you areas that might have a higher probability. There's usually a thin line below or farther south, and so that shows you how far south you could be, where if you're just north of that line on the map, where you might see an aurora on your horizon. If you want to have a chance at maybe seeing an aurora in the lower 48 United States, then you want to pay attention to K indexes around 7, 8, or 9. One thing to pay attention to for the 30-minute probability map, it's actually a video clip. The last still in that video is going to show you the current half hour or hour-ish ahead. Definitely take your phone out with you, not just for the prediction, but for the camera's abilities to pick up color in low light situations much better than your eyes ever will. Tempering expectations for whether you might see one, and taking the sources of light in your sky and in your environment into account, all of this plays a part. But when you actually see one with your own eyes, it is almost magical. It's hard to believe that you're seeing actual interaction between the sun and the earth at that exact moment in time.
What is that noise?
It was like grasshoppers. I tried to turn it down, turn to edit. That's Michelle Nichols with the Adler Planetarium in Chicago. I'd like to point out, for people who don't know why my brain escapes, I have this page of notes, and I had notes on my phone.
I have it too, yeah.
And I gave you notes. So I have like a lot of notes just to make sure I keep my everything intact, my curls intact. That's why I blanked on her name a minute ago. I had it on my other notepad. But yeah, Northern Lights happening tonight and tomorrow. If you head a little north, that line she talked about was a little further south. It was like kind of like through the plain state. That's why I mentioned there's a chance. There's a chance you could see.
There's a possibility, but it's not for sure.
Not for sure, but maybe again soon. Who knows? Maybe we get a giant CME. One thing we do and worry about though with coronal mass ejection. I don't know if you giggled at seeing me. I think throwing in, those big explosions. The one thing we always have concern about with those is they could damage satellites, which could damage our cell signal. And
that's a big concern.
That's a big concern. So they're building like stuff to make them better. And so that's why we want to monitor space weather. We want to make sure that we don't get impacted here on Earth. And when also, you don't want an astronaut outside during a solar flare. It would make them very sick. A lot of radiation. So they make sure they put them inside. So it's like for their safety, for us on Earth, we want to know when these things are happening and how best to address them. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and we'll work hard to kind of let everyone know here in Central Texas when these things are happening.
Yeah, I have that map, that prediction tool. I have that and then like 3 other prediction tools on my desktop that I glance over occasionally just to make sure we're all doing good.
Always monitoring.
Always monitoring. I'm like a little space meteorologist. Not a meteorologist, not a real meteorologist, just space meteorologist.
Well,
you talk about Japan?
Yeah, we were talking about how there wasn't much space news here for us.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, I totally did not put 2 and 2 together. I didn't get any space news from NASA in a while. Yeah. Government shutdown. That's why there's not a lot of space news.
That is
so
true.
We're kind of looking overseas.
So we're looking at Japan.
Right, and that's because, government shutdown, NASA's not doing anything. There's no press releases. In fact, this morning I scrolled back to see if they'd announced anything in the last 2 weeks. Nothing. Which I didn't think they would. I was just doing my due diligence, and sure enough, it's silent there. So we're talking about Japan.
And how else do you think that government shutdown could affect NASA?
Well, many people aren't getting paid, so I'm really concerned about that. There's always an issue with when things impact NASA, and I won't say issue, but a concern that people will then jump ship and go to
different areas.
Like private sector, kind of similar thing they're dealing with the airlines. They're down to like the staffing they need to make sure the astronauts in space stay safe.
Yeah,
and that's kind of where they're at. But a lot of projects go on hold during things like this. It's hard to get information out about it because it's shut down. But a lot of the projects will go on hold. But the good thing is a lot of things are not necessarily government. Like JPL, Jet Propulsion Lab, that's not like a full government thing.
Some are like semi-private.
And they work in partnership. There's a lot of partnership things. Or they're like a university and they're doing stuff. The lab is separate. It's not a government lab, so they can still function. Yeah. So it's just kind of like all these things. It's such a big web of everything's connected. And when one thing stops, it impacts other things. But other things can still function to some degree,
And what about how many astronauts do we have in space right now?
It's 3.
3?
I think it's 3 Americans. I have to double check. I didn't look, honestly. There are a couple of cosmonauts, Russians, up at the ISS right now. I think it's 2 Russians, is what I saw today. But they did a spacewalk, which is why I was like, "Ooh, what's going on there?"
What are they doing?
I think it was 3 we sent last time, and then we brought some back too.
Didn't they replace the ones that were there?
Yeah, they send them as replacements. Mm-hmm. So usually it's like 3 or 4 they'll send as a replacement. And I think it's 3 right now. But if it's not, let us know in the comments. If y'all know the exact number. I can Google here too, but that'd be kind of a boring show.
Japan launched a powerful H3 rocket. What is an H3 rocket?
H3 rocket is their newest rocket. It's their new big rocket, and it is replacing the.
Do we have some video on this?
I think I put some in there. Yeah, there it is. Launch. It's a big rocket. It's replacing the H2 transfer vehicle, the Kunotori, I think is how you pronounce that, which it's designed to carry supplies and equipment to the International Space Station. This is the 7th mission for the H3, but it's the first using this full configuration where it has all the little rockets on the sides. It's kind of hard to get information on some of these. I was digging around today because it is in Japan and it doesn't always carry over to America, and a lot of the information was in Japanese, but I was able to kind of like collect a little bit here and there. But it's a cargo ship. It launched Sunday morning.
And what is it bringing with it?
This one, it has just payload, instruments for flight, just supplies for the International Space Station. It will operate, I thought this was interesting, it's capable of operating independently for 3 months, so it has like autonomous features. It's going to dock with the ISS for 6 months. 6 months? Yeah, up to 6 months. If it has to come back early, come back early. But this is like a big jump up for Japan's space industry.
That's awesome. That's a really big rocket.
It's a big rocket. And this will help us supply the International Space Station. The last several, did I keep this note? H3 launches. The first one failed in 2023. Mm-hmm. So it exploded.
It exploded?
And,
yeah. Was it by a body of water at least?
Yeah, they always put these by bodies of water. It's not a big deal when they explode these days. Back in the day it was, but not now. And then they did 6 launches with the H3, but this is the first one with the the 4 rockets on the outside, the boosters, which we used to do a lot more with like the space shuttle. The space shuttle, I don't know if you remember, had like the gas, and the big fuel tank, and then it had like the 2 boosters, and the boosters would go up and fall off.
Mm-hmm.
Fuel tank would fall off, and then the rest of the way the space shuttle would push its way up. So
And
there's
that
4
piece
little
stayed behind.
boosters that get it up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we don't do that anymore.
No. Now we just have like big rockets. They don't, because now we can do the landings, like the Dragon, or not Dragon.
The pad, the landing pad.
What's the rocket? SpaceX's rocket. Well, it's not Dragon. Dragon's the capsule. Falcon. The Falcon rockets. They kind of like they can land at sea. In fact, another one did launch like recently with more Starlink, and it landed at sea of SpaceX. So we can do that now. So we don't need to do boosters on a space shuttle. The whole idea of a space shuttle was it goes up and then flights bad down. But now we have other ways to do it. Rockets are just more efficient. You don't really need to fly with wings in space.
How often does Japan launch rockets? Because I know SpaceX is doing it all the time.
It's not as often as SpaceX, but it's still fairly regular. When I used to work on our weather and traffic show, anytime I saw a Japanese launch, and it was pretty regular. It's not as regular, not as regular as SpaceX, which does it several times a month, but pretty often. All things considered. Launching rockets is hard. We talk about like launch windows where like the weather's in the right spot, where the Earth's at the right angle. When
you have to be in the right location.
Yeah, and you launch, and you have to go up, and so many orbits, and then come back down. It is hard to launch. Like we want to make because space is big. You got to make sure you're in the right spot.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of always the concern with these things: is can you be in the right spot at the right time with launches? But new rockets are always good for the industry in general, and also, again, if you have more options for the International Space Station, future space stations that we're putting up, we're doing Gateway around the moon eventually to help get us to Mars. Having these options is if there's an incident, need a resupply, bunch of options. Bunch of ways. We saw The Martian. They were kind of limited to a couple rockets. I mean, that movie's and book are pretty accurate to what would happen. If you have a couple different options, you have different ways to get things there. So having more options is always great.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, we are going to talk about one thing that we will be able to see in the sky.
This. See, we teased you early on, and now we're here.
Now we are here. Oh, let me...
You want to see some photos of Comet Lemon?
Comet Lemon soars through the solar system.
Yes.
What is Comet Lemon?
Comet Lemon is a comet that moves through our solar system every 1,300 years.
And how big is it?
Do I have the size on here? I don't know if I put the size on it. It's big enough. It's very visible.
Photos, right?
It's visible with your naked eye, so it's big enough. It's a 4.3 plus on the magnitude. Closer to 0 you are, the brighter you are. Like the sun, I think, is negative 15 on the magnitude. So it's pretty bright.
And you can see it with your naked eye.
With naked eye, binoculars or a small telescope make it a little easier. It's gonna be that's rocket. It's gonna be visible for the next few weeks. The closest approach was the 21st through 22nd, so we just missed the closest approach. But you still get a chance to see it. You can see it through Friday and even into early next week. So Friday, you're gonna have a really good chance. It's again only every 1,300.
I was about to say, when does it come back?
Yeah, you won't unless
you miss it this time. You're probably never gonna see it again.
Who knows? I was talking to Nabil Rabanda yesterday, and he said he saw an article saying that by 2030, nanotech might be to the point where we can live forever, and so you might get another chance.
I don't know if I want to live forever.
I don't want to live forever either. Whatever. I'm not gonna get too morbid on Tuesday morning.
We're getting too dark on
too
this
dark.
show.
This is a weirdly dark show today. But this will be 1,300 years. The full name of it is C/2025 A6. It is one of 2 comets in our solar system right now. Remember, the other one is Atlas.
Yes.
Which was, we didn't know what it was. And it was a comet. It came from the outside the solar system. It's kind of zooming in.
Yeah.
And
it's not hitting us, this one, right?
Nothing's hitting us. If we're going to get hit by a comet, you're not going to hear it first in the space. Just like
you might.
You might. I hope not. I hope NBC at least pops something up for that before it gets to us.
And its closest approach to us?
That was last week, and it was 56 million miles, 90 million kilometers. Pretty close.
Pretty close. Almost going to hit us.
Pretty close. Million miles. Almost. People are going to be freaking out watching this show. It was discovered in January. This is why it's called Comet Lemon at the Mount Lemmon Observatory. It is basically comprised of pretty much everything else comets are comprised of: ice and rock. And as it gets closer to the sun, that ice melts and forms that beautiful tail, and then it zips back around the sun,
And
back into
that's
deep
what
space, and freezes again.
That's what we see in the sky.
That's
the
what we see.
beautiful tail.
Really cool. Where you can look. Oh, also we have the meteor shower, the Orionid. Yeah, that's how you say it. Meteor showers right now. It's one of the smaller meteor showers of the year, so you can see that in the sky plus this comet right now.
Is
Pretty
that
cool.
one the Rhinid every single year?
Yeah, it's one of the annuals.
Yeah, I think.
So this one we're annuals, but it's not one we really cover because
it comes every year.
Well, it's like a smaller meteor shower, so it's not one of our. It's not like the Geminids or the Perseids, which are like our two big meteor showers. Orionid is like what's one we get. You'll see a few meteors maybe.
Little baby ones.
This one you need to look towards the constellation Serpens Caput.
What?
To the west. Look to the west, southwest, kind of right at dusk. Is that right at dusk? Yeah, right at dusk. Right after sunset. Western sky, southwestern sky. The constellation Serpens Caput. Apparently, that's one of them that looks like a snake. It's the 13th constellation. By the way, I did read about this morning. 13th constellation. We don't really acknowledge because we don't want a snake constellation.
And 13 is a scary number.
Yeah, you know how some buildings don't have 13th floors?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is why we don't have 13 constellation. Also, because it's all made up and the rules don't matter. But western sky, right after sunset, you get a chance to see this comet through Halloween. And
Nice.
even though it's kind of cloudy right now, although I'm looking at the monitor behind you, those clouds are kind of parting.
Yeah,
So you might get a chance over the next few nights to get a good view of that.
Good view of that
with any
comet.
luck. Yeah, keep an eye out. Anything else you want to talk about in there? Not really.
Well-
it is really bright. A good chance to see it with your naked eye. So
Or
pretty cool.
you can go to that Austin planetarium.
You could. I don't know if they're doing anything. I didn't look. Ooh,
Maybe they have
no,
some
I'm
viewing
caught off guard.
parties.
maybe they do. But also we have the Atlas, which I don't think you can see right now with the naked eye. I looked at this morning, and there wasn't anything about naked eye-ness on the Atlas. But Atlas, for those of you who don't remember, we had a mysterious object coming from the outside of our solar system,
Yeah.
and we discovered it was a comet, and it zipped past Pluto and towards us. And I think now it's on the way back. I think it's already heading back out
Pluto
there.
is way far from us, right?
Yeah, it's pretty far.
Well, we've had some quiet news here locally for some space news, but hopefully we get some more action next week.
I'm hoping, maybe the government will reopen and
Maybe
we'll
some
get some stuff from
aliens.
NASA. Who knows?
Maybe they'll
It's
release
kind of
some
quite.
alien
Honestly, it's quite on
documents.
my like the normal like local space stuff. We had the Interstellar conference a couple weeks ago. We had New Worlds conference last weekend. And so,
Any follow-ups to the conference from last
no,
weekend?
nothing on my notes. Yeah.
Well-
it looked like it was a lot of fun. So
It did, yeah. I'm surprised you did not go to the end of it.
yeah, I got to Austin Film Festival. I got to see the new Knives
Oh.
Out instead, but
That's better.
that was really cool.
That is cool.
I love those movies. I love movies in general. So I'm a big old nerd if you haven't caught on to that. But yeah, that's our show. That's what we had for you. I think we had some fun stuff. Northern Lights. If you go up north, you can see them. Cool photos in there of when they were here in Central Texas. Some information what states you can see them in. Some more information about solar flares and coronal mass ejections and solar weather in general. I love the photos. I loved how red it was when it was here, by the way. I thought that was really kind of neat.
Yeah, these are where it will be visible, and
Yes.
Texas is not on the list.
Sorry, Texas. Sorry. I did not put Texas in the headline very intentionally. I did not want to mislead people think it was in Texas.
Look, it says in the past the Northern Lights have gotten as far south as Central Texas.
Yes,
in
they
the
had.
past, not today.
Not today. In the past. And we had the rocket launch and a comet in the sky. The comet you can see. Look southwest. Right after
Japan's
sunset.
rocket launch and a
Yes,
pretty comet.
we had a fun show. I had fun.
Yeah, I had fun too. We always do here on Space
God,
Base.
what's wrong with us? This Tuesday's weird.
It's the beginning of the week.
Is it? Well, yeah. Are you off Mondays? You're off Mondays, right?
No,
No, you're off Fridays.
Fridays.
Fridays. I knew it was a weird day.
Yeah.
We get those 3-day weekends that are just 2 days weekends. But whatever. We need to get out of here. This has gotten strange real quick.
Well, thank you for joining me, Eric. For anyone who wants to read that article, it's on our website, kxan.com. And if they would like to rewatch this video or other space-based episodes, where can they do that, Eric?
KXAN Plus available on Apple TV, Fire Stick, Roku, and Samsung TVs. And then next week we're going to be gone, but we'll have a repeat.
Yes,
Very
we
next
will have a good show for you all.
I got my
prepared.
wedding anniversary, so I took a day off.
Exciting. What are
Yeah.
you going to do?
We're going to the barbecue festival.
Oh.
Remember I did that whole barbecue documentary?
Yeah.
Well, now we're going to the barbecue fest. But
Now
this time
you're going.
I'm only working for like 20 minutes, and then I'm going to, just because I'm there, might as well send some video back.
Yeah. Are you going to visit anyone that was in your documentary?
We might. There's a chance. There's like, it's just like a timing thing. So it comes down to. And also I need to make sure I fast.
So that you're prepared and you're
Yeah.
hungry.
I want to be. Maybe I'll do a Joey Chestnut, drink a bunch of water, get my stomach really big.
No, I don't think
and
that's
then
a good
not
idea.
eat, and then just like and I'll do that all Saturday. I'll just drink a ton of water, and just get really stretch out my stomach, make sure it's ready for it, and then I'm just gonna go consume as much barbecue as possible.
And then you're gonna feel horrible after the barbecue.
Which is why I took Monday and Tuesday off.
Well, good luck with that. We are wishing you the best and that you stay healthy.
I will. My cholesterol will be bad, but we'll see what happens.
Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.